So you'll be landing up with the cover page and click on the next button over there. It will take you to the sheet naming called Business Maths. So I request everyone, please confirm you got the same worksheet open on the screen. Y for yes or D for done. Now, so in business maths, the sheet, whatever the data it contains, let me give you a background story of this data, and then we'll understand what is our objective and how to deal with the same. So in our routine activities, people, we deal with lot of basic calculations like our addition, multiplication, subtraction, and the division we do lot of times. And but the problem is over there, sometimes some situation comes, we spend a lot of time for doing such kind of basic calculations. And why we do not mind spending time? Because of the mindset. We believe we have a practice we have developed in such a way that even though for a small calculations, we end up spending a lot of time. So we have collated few examples in our routine activities in this sheet, and I will take you through those situations one by one, and we'll see how to make some improvements over there while we are reporting to the next level. So let me take you through this data first. The question number one, product of values. Now, suppose say somebody from the purchase team, he came to me and asked me, Prabhas, I want to purchase three products, naming ABC, XYZ, anything. So A of 1000, B of 12, C of 20, quantity is clear. How many quantities I need to purchase? Now, when I inquired with the vendor has given the rates A of 1 rupee each, B of 20 rupees each, C of 10 rupees each. Now, when I approached my finance team to collect a check on behalf of the vendor, then they asked me a question in return. Prabhas, how much amount you need so that I can put a check or making it ready for you on behalf of XYZ Limited or enterprises, anything, and you can go and collect the material. Well, so to answer to my finance team, what we do in that case? No need to do anything, just look at my screen. We create a new column and there we type a formula is equal to quantity multiplied by rate per unit. And then only when you go for a total, we realize, okay, this is what the price I need to state to my finance team, and they will be preparing a check on the said amount. This is the practice we do have. Do you agree with me? Yes, people. Hope the situation is clear.
Yes.
Right. Now, there is nothing wrong. Whatever we have been doing over here, this is absolutely fine. But let us analyze the situation. Now, to answer to my finance team, where our entire answer is lying in one cell. But what is the point of getting all these three? No idea, but we are forced. Unless and until you get all these three individual values, this total cannot be achieved. This is one. And second problem over here is creating one more additional column and defining so many formulas unwantedly, we are making our file size heavy. So this is one more drawback. So this is the reason why whatever the practice we do have in this state, we are going to stop. So what is the improvement we can do, or what is the betterment we can do over here? Let me take it through. There is a total cost cell. You can notice it is available. I will go for a small formula naming called sum product. So this is a very powerful formula. Since inception of Microsoft Office till 2021 version, this formula is still there. And it is really a powerful formula. You can do so many things. And technically, this is called array formula. So what it demands me, array one. So in our data, what is the first column? Quantity. So we should not include the header. Obviously, we know that. Array 2, comma, array 2. What is the second column? Rate per unit. We have taken that also. So two inputs we had, two inputs we have provided inside the formula. Formula is ready. Now the moment I hit enter, can you see the same result we are getting? Even though we have got 1000 entries, we no need to be really worried about, and a small formula, sum product is going to give the result to us. So please give it a try and let me know any difficulties.
Got it, Prabhas.
Okay, great. So anybody is facing any challenge, you can ask me, people, because this is very, very essential formulas in our routine activities to avoid the duplication of work, especially.
Actually, I'm having a problem because I'm not able to open this file.
You are trying to open from the zip file itself, or have you extracted the file?
I've clicked on zip file and then I have opened extract option. I'm not.
No. You just go to that zip folder, right click on the same. You will be finding an option called extract here.
No, I'm getting an option of upload, previous, open. That's it.
Okay, could you please mind sharing your screen, Mumtaz, so I can help you?
Sure.
Go to the sharing option and share your screen or desktop. Yeah. So fine, you are directly trying to open from the attachment. Okay, right click on the same, copy, go to your desktop. Right click on the same, paste it. Right now, right click on the same, extract here, extract all, something is there. Yeah. Extract, just to do that, just immediately you do it. Okay. So you are getting the sample case that you can cut it. No, don't open there. Don't open there. I'll tell you. Just cut it. Right click, cut. Right click on the folder, cut it. Come back to desktop again. From the left, you can choose desktop. Yeah. Paste it. Now go to that sample folder. Yeah. Open that. You got the files open. Now you can delete that zip folder. In the desktop, it is there. In the desktop, it is there. You can delete that. Okay. You can operate from this. Now go for that case studies. There is a file called corporate case studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to business maths. Yeah. The total cost, that is the file. Yes. Total cost, keep your cursor. Total cost, the gray color cell, total cost is there. In F8, yeah, there you type equal to subtotal, I mean sum product, equal to sum product. Well, I'll tell you how to write your formula quickly. See, forget about mouse, leave the mouse, leave the mouse. Just type P, SUMP. Yeah, SUMP, sum product, SUMP. Now you can see, hold on. Now can you see sum product formula is already highlighted in blue color, correct?
Yes.
So instead of typing the entire text on your keyboard from the left side, hit the tab key, TAB tab key is there, left side, hit the tab button. Just SUMP tab. Can you see that? Automatically it takes up to the open parenthesis label, right? Now it is asking array 1. So go for the first column data, that is quantity. Select the entire quantity column. Yes, comma. Then array 2, rate per unit, entire column of rate per unit.
In between, no?
No, comma. Just give a comma after array 1. See, the formula is already giving the instruction. Yes. Then go for rate per unit. Select rate per unit column and enter. All right. So you'll be getting the same. Right. Fine then. So I'm taking the control back on the screen. Over here. So let me get the same files because the file names are a bit different. Let me get that first. So just give me a second, people. I'm coming back with those files, exactly what I have shared across to you. Give me just a minute. All right, so we are ready and good to go. So let me open that file, naming called corporate case studies and charts. Yeah. So when I go for business means what we have done with over here, we have gone for a simple formula, naming called some product, very powerful formula as I told you. And this is going to help us in getting, even though we have got 10,000 records in that format, we can go for immediately get a result. So this is called technically array formula. And there are a lot of things we can do with some product over there. So now we'll go for our next example. So we are going to discuss something on this point now about the vendor evaluation process. In any organizations or industry, wherever we are working with people, what happens? We follow our own SOP, standard operating procedure. So when you are evaluating your vendor, what our purchase system says, if you are depending upon a single source of supply, then you are running your business with high risk. So what ultimately they suggest us to go for minimum 3 competitive quotes. So if you are buying a critical item, they always insist us or recommend us to go for minimum 3 competitive quotes. And technically what we call them L1, L2, L3. So we have got something in prices column. So assume that these are the different vendors rates given over here. Now look at my screen, please. And in this highlighted area, whatever the values are embedded, I request you please find out what would be my L1 price. Anybody manually check and let me know. In the prices column, what would be my L1 price? Should be 87. Yeah, very good. Now, what would be my L2 price? Anybody? L2 price 99.2, right? L3 price
103.2.
So this is what, since we have got hardly 7 to 8 items, it was pretty easy for us to find out L1, L2, L3. Well and good. Now just imagine or take a situation when you open the Excel file, there is a price column like this, and we have got 10,000 entries. How many entries? 10,000 entries. Now, if you happen to do the same job, L1, L2, L3, out of the 10,000 records, you need to find out what we do in that case. Yes, people, anybody? Give me their opinion, share your view. If you have 10,000 items, you need to, or you will need to find out L1, L2, L3 out of that, what we do in that scenario.
Sort the data.
Obviously. So that is what the practice we have developed. We sort our data in smallest to largest order, and whatever the 3 line items it comes in the beginning or in the top, we consider as L1, L2, L3 respectively. And we drop a mail to our superior stating that, sir, we have done the ground level of working and we have identified our L1, L2, L3 supplier rates. Please give us a green signal to start procuring the material. So our boss is also looking at the mail without having a second thought. They give us a green signal and go ahead with that. Fine, whatever the practice we have in our industry or the corporates, well and good. I'm not denying about it. But think about the situation one more time and tell me, where is the value additions to the work? Because mere sorting is an option anybody can do. That exercise I could have given it to my one of my teammates also. So being a professional, being a skilled person, being a leader, why I'm spending my quality time for doing a non-productive task like this? We have never thought upon that point. Trust me. You will also not disagree in that point. So I would like to tell a simple thing. The task what I did, I could have given this task to my one of my office boy also, because nowadays office boy comes with minimum of MS Office literacy. Forget about the negotiation quality and all those things. That's a secondary. But finding out the values, it's an easy task. Anybody can do. Fine. Now you can ask me a question in return. Prabhas, what you're saying is absolutely correct. We do not deny. But I have a curiosity to know why my boss has never objected for the same. If this is a non-productive task, he should have objected me. But he has never done that. Why? Because what you are doing, this is what the practice it has been followed since ages in the industries. So he believes that the same practice you are also following. So there is nothing wrong. And that's why he has never objected. So what I'm trying to say, the bottom line from the entire discussion is it's not mandatory, it's not necessary that whatever the practice is there already should be the best approach or best option. If you believe that any point of time there should be improvement on the style or you can able to save some time for the task, go ahead with that. Unless and until you implement, you will never find the flavor of that. So always think out of the box approach and go ahead with it. So now the question is, in this particular step, particular juncture, how to make some improvements on this we are going to discuss. Okay, so Param is saying conditional formatting top bottom. Conditional formatting, what it happens every time you have to do, Param, because tomorrow if suppose new product comes, you get the data again, you have to do either conditional formatting or sorting of the data. So that task is recurring in nature. So what I'm trying to say is we should do the task only once in such a way. The moment we do the data entry, automatically our data should be extracted with top three or bottom three supplier rates. So that's called the dynamic way of doing the work. So we are going to do such kind of improvements in our working style. So no need to do anything, just understand what I'm trying to say. So please watch my screen for a minute. Okay. So in this juncture, people, okay, first thing, whenever you want to do this kind of vendor evaluation kind of task, you should not have many more files because people do not like watching many more files or Excel sheets. So you should maintain one Excel file in such a way there should be maximum two sheets. One is about our daybook. Daybook is our property. So what should be the content or what should be the details in the daybook? The entire vendor's details, like who is that vendor? Either he's a retailer, manufacturer, trader, service provider, registered or unregistered. Then how many years he's having the experience in this business. Then right, whether our total cost or the product cost is inclusive of freight or exclusive of freight. How many days of credit he is going to provide, what's his email ID, what's his phone number, everything you have to just maintain in your daybook record. This is the complete details about the vendors. Now, once you have completed daybook, when you are sending this file to the next level, say your super boss or whoever XYZ person, we should maintain a sheet called summary. So the name itself sufficient. What should be the data? The data should be in crispy format or it's a summarized format of data should be there. So what should be the details we should maintain in our summary sheet? Many more columns and rows people again do not like in the summary sheet. So it should be a crispy records over here we should maintain. How? I'll tell you. So first of all, we should have maximum 3 to 4 columns of data, depends max. Then 9 to 10 row items. And this is what the area where you have to provide your information. So there should be a cell stating all the list of products. So my boss, when going to watch my data, he should have a cell having the list of products. And there, the moment he wants to go for a list of products, it should contain in a drop-down list. Like suppose to take an example, I have got PR1. PR means product. So I'm just creating some sample data for you. PR3, PR4, PR5. So when my boss is going to just click on this drop down, the entire list of products should be available for him. So committing the mistakes, chances are very less. Only thing is he has to select from the drop down, done. Now, once you select a particular product, then immediately there should be three cells in the down over here. There should be three cells. Naming over here, those three cells as L1, L2, L3. And immediately there should be a column having the name called price should immediately appear. And this price column data should reflect automatically. And where this data is going to come from for the price column? From the daybook. And from daybook, how the data is going to travel to summary sheet? By using some formula or functions. Now, once you achieve your price for that particular product, who is that vendor? That name should instantly appear. And this is going to make your report more dynamic. This is just one-time job. And trust me, when you present your data in this format, People will love to see your report. And trust me, the person whom you are sending the file, he is going to retain this file for his whole life. To set an example for others, see, this is called report. And what is the beauty of doing this is, tomorrow, suppose my boss wants to see any other product related information. Simple. Immediately, he just select the drop down, entire things is ready. And suppose say any of the new vendor comes in the market and he is offering his service. Only thing is you have to keep updating your daybook. You don't need to touch your summary sheet any point of time. So this is how you should make your report. So can you feel that this kind of improvements can be done? But say, whatever the task we were discussing over there, can this kind of improvement be placed over there? What you believe? Do you agree with me? Definitely, right? So this is what people we are going to discuss now. But for the time being, our focus is entirely lying in the price. We are going to learn everything. I'm going to teach you everything. This, how to create this drop down, how to get the vendor name, all these things I'm going to tell you. But right now, the entire focus, you please leave it with our price column. So how to get our price column? That is what the point we are going to discuss. Okay, so here, come back to our existing data source. What we have with us is there is a bottom three column over here. Okay, so this is the place where same L1, L2, L3 answer we are going to achieve it. But how to get that? So first of all, we are going to change the approach of ours. So what's the approach change we need to make? We have a practice. We create our formula in one cell, then we go and drag it down or copy paste, or we go for Control D, all these things we do. But today we are going to stop doing it. So what is the first thing we should do? When we have some solutions to design, first select your solution area. So this is the place where the yellow colored cells, you can see I am going to get my solution. Okay. Now I will keep my mouse aside, touchpad aside. Immediately I'll go for equal to, and there I'll go for a formula called small. So this is again technically called as an array formula. And what it demands me? It demands me array. So array is nothing but where to search my data in the prices column. And when I copy this formula towards down, E12 to E17 range should not move down. And for that, what I'm supposed to do? If I do not want this range to move down when I copy the formula, we need to go and log them. And to log this range, we have to press the F4 key. So F4 key is going to help me in applying $2 symbol, 1 before column E, making column lock, 1 before 12, making row lock. So in a cell, when the entire column and row is locked, ultimately range is locked. So this is not going to move further when I copy the formula down or towards right, comma. What is the next thing it is asking? K. K is nothing but the integer or the ranking. So let's take the ranking. If I was talking about L1, what should be the rank for L1? Question itself answer is there. L1 rank should be 1. L2 rank should be 2. L3 rank should be 3. So basically, in place of K, we are expecting 1, 2, and 3. But we cannot define all these three numbers together, and neither we can go to each and every cell and edit the formula from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, we can update. This is not the right practice. So what is the best thing we can do? If you see in our data in column G, there is already 1, 2, and 3 mentioned over there. So instead of writing anything, we are going to take the help of that cell G1. If I go for it over here, G1, you can see. So over here, G12 is containing the number called 1. So that 1 is going to be my ranking for finding out the L1 case over here. So bracket close, formula is ready, parenthesis close, formula is ready, but formula is ready only for a cell. As we know, we need to apply for the entire range. So ideally we have a practice to finish the formula with enter, but today we are going to use control and enter. So when you press control enter, this will be applied for the entire range, whatever we have selected. So this is how, friends, the small formula, how it works for us, we have got a basic understanding. So please give it a try. Any difficulties, do let me know. I would help you out. So I believe everybody is clear what we did so far. Two things. One, how to write our small formula. Second, the locking of the range to restrict the.
Prabhas, can you just tell me the locking of the range again? Tab key, pressing the tab key.
Yeah, see, locking purpose, you have to use F4 key, not the tab key. So first of all, what we did,
F4.
I'm just redoing the process.
Uh,
So I have selected my entire yellow colored cell, kept my mouse cursor aside, then I typed a formula called small, and then it demands me array. So array is there in my left side. I have selected the same, but I need to lock
yes.
them. So to lock the same, we have to go and use our keyboards over here. The screen, I'm making the screen keyboard over here. If you go for it, there is a key called F4. So I have to use this F4 key. If it is not a direct key, then you have to use function with F4. If F4 is not bringing dollar symbol for you, it is activating some multimedia options, either sound or your say display system or anything brightness is enabling over there, then you have to go with function with F4. It depends upon the brand of the laptop you are using and the keyboard behavior. So since we do have over here now, what I'm going to do is going over here F4. So when I go for F4 over here, automatically what is going to happen? This is going to apply two dollar symbols. One is before column, another before row. Then comma, taking the value from the right side for the ranking purpose. So rank we have already created 1, 2, 3 in column G, and that value we are going to utilize to define our ranking. So G12 is the cell, it is containing 1. So that one will become my K value purpose ranking. And over here, the moment I go for parenthesis closed, then finally control enter.
Prabhas, actually, I am hitting control enter, but it's not getting copied to the other cells.
Okay, did you select that first?
Oh, correct.
You should have selected, that's what I told you. First, you have to select the range where you want to define your solution. Then you should not go and take your mouse cursor and click over here. You should not click that. You should go for equal to small, then array, lock it, then take the value from the right side, parenthesis closed, then control enter.
Got it.
Yep. So control enter for Param is not working. Satish is also not working. Nita is also not working. Okay. So Param, now is it working for you?
Prabhas, you had selected the G12 box or the entire, I'm not understanding actually.
Okay, I'm going to do someone's screen at least once so that those who have missed out, they are clear. So Nita, could you please share your screen? Okay, Satish, could you please? Okay, Nita is sharing. Very good. No problem. Well, Nita, you can first delete that 87, whatever you have created, kindly delete that. So please, people stay focused, those who are missing this information. Kindly select all these three cells, bottom three column, three gray colored cells, completely you select. Leave the mouse, leave the mouse, leave the touchpad. Now immediately type equal to, take small, write small formula, then your parenthesis open, okay. Tab, hit the tab key, fine. Take towards left. Select the prices column array. Yeah, now go for F4. Press F4. Now this is locking, comma. Now use the right arrow key to move right. Use the right arrow key from the keyboard to move right, and you'll be getting G12 on. Okay. So Pallavi, you got the information now how to go to G12. Now bracket close, yes. Control enter. Control enter. Hope you got it. So Satish, now is it clear for you how to go ahead and get the answer?
Yes.
Okay, great. Fine then people. So I'm taking the control back on the screen. So this is how we now worked out how this small formula is working. And then over there how this F4 key plays a role, and this formula is going to help us while designing any kind of dashboards, summary reports, templates. As I told you, one scenario there you can make use of that. Similarly, let us go and find out the top three values from this array. So top three values, how to find out, like taking the same over here. I'm going to select the same process we are going to follow. So first 1 minute, you please watch my screen, what I'm doing. Equal to, what will be the opposite of small? We know it should be large. Very good. Now we'll go for array. So prices column is the array and we should lock it. Reason, you know, when we copy the formula down, this range should not move down, comma. Again, this is demanding K. You can see this is demanding K. So as I told you, what is the meaning of K? It's nothing but the ranking. So ranking, what we need, again, 1, 2, and 3. So we'll be taking the cell value from the left. That is again G12. You can notice it is there already. And now the moment I close the parenthesis, formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for the entire selected range. Control Enter, and we got the information. So this is how people, whenever there is a need, we are supposed to create the formula in Excel in this format, so that we can avoid using many more times the dragging option of mouse, copy paste of formula, Control D, and all those things. We can avoid using that and we can save some time. So this is our large formula. So please give it a try. Large formula, is it clear? Any doubt, any queries? Do let me know.
Recorded, Prabhas.
Okay, great. So I got 3 confirmations, people. And how about the others? Could you please confirm? Or if you have any doubts or queries, feel free to ask me, no problem. So this is how taking the live data, you need to keep practicing over the formulas. Concept remains the same, but only thing is, depends upon your data, you have to apply it in different scenarios. Now, considering that everybody is clear with the formula application, let us go and analyze the same situation for one more time. No need to do anything, just look at my screen and follow my audio. Now take an example. Suppose say I'm going to take 2 names from our group, say our friend Dharmin and Param for our story. Is there any objection from you, both of you guys, if I take your name for the story?
Absolutely no.
Okay, thank you so much. So take an example. Suppose say our friend Dharmin, he is presenting this data to our friend Param. Okay. Now Dharmin has created all these formulas and everything is ready, intact, and he is sending it to Param. Param is watching the data, and Param believes that why Dharmin have created all these things. This is unwanted. He believes, who? Param, and he deleted that. Then what happens? Oh, this is getting the problem. The formula is in trouble. Can you see that? So this is what you should avoid it. And what we did actually technically, this is what our experts, they do suggest us to do the job like this. So whenever you are creating a template or report or summary report or any kind of dashboards, this kind of helper column, Excel never recommends. This is what we do for our convenience purpose. But now the question is, if this is ruled out, then how to deal with the same? We need same 1, 2, 3. But how to get that? So technically, we have to make our formula efficient enough in such a way. Those 1, 2, 3, what we used to depend upon a external column, it is going to be generated in our formula itself. But how to do that? Let me take you through. Just 1 minute, watch my screen. Understand the concept. See, I have taken the same 3 cells. I have gone for the formula called large. I'm going for this operation is equal to large over here, and then taking the array as usual we are following, and we need to lock it, reason we know, then comma, it is asking K. So here our trouble starts. how to get that same 1, 2, 3 to define our K value or ranking. So here in our Excel, for your information people, I will tell you there is a formula we do have called row. ROW, open parenthesis, close parenthesis. What it does, I'll tell you first. Row formula is a formula designed by Microsoft. The basic job is to give the answer as the row number. So whichever the row number you are going to type this formula, this is going to give me that row number over here. Now suppose say I am in row number 12. Can you see over here? I am in row numbers 12. So this is going to give me row number 12. So this is going to give me row number 12. Let me confirm that. See, I have selected and I've showed you. Is it giving me 12? Of course, yes. So since we are in row number 12, my row formula is giving the answer as 12. Okay. But for my K purpose, what is the number I am expecting? Instead of 12, I'm expecting 1. So basic mathematics, what we can do? Minus 11, because row is already giving 12, right? Now bracket close or parenthesis close, formula is ready only for a cell. But we need to apply for the rest. Shortcut, Control Enter, and we got the data. See the beauty. Without using any of the helper column, we got the same formula ready, making the formula efficient enough, and this is called one of the nested formula. So please give it a try. Any difficulties in understanding, do let me know. And once your large is applied, go and complete the small also. So as I told you, this is also always going to help you while designing the dashboards, summary reports, tabular reports. You can make use of that. If it is not clear, feel free to ask. I will make these things more clear.
So Prabhas, actually, I have a question here.
Yes.
So yeah, so basically row parenthesis open and closed minus 11. So what exactly, where exactly it is picking the value?
See, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Now, if I'm asking a question, which row I have selected, what will be your answer?
12.
So that is what the same thing. It is done by row formula. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So earlier, if you look at our external column there, what was the value we had? 1, 2, 3, correct? So in place of 12, I am looking for 1. So what I can do? Minus 11.
All right. So you are basically, we are making the cell number 12 means whatever the cell is to 1,
Yeah.
right? Basically, we are changing it.
Right.
All right, got it.
Yeah.
And Prabhas, is that the right time to talk about the the sum product formula? Can I ask one question?
Yeah, no problem. Please.
Yeah, Prabhas. So basically, in some product, so I have tried to add one more column. You know, just to play it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but so basically, how is it working? So, like, if you are adding one more formula and just putting one more array range.
Right.
So, yeah. So, how is it calculating? Because I have got a different value.
See, again, 1000 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 2. Like suppose say we have got a carton, like a big size carton is there. Within that, small boxes are there. And within small boxes, we have got some packets. So if I want to know total number of packets, like if you go to the pharma industries, mostly what it happens, the blister packing will be there, the aluminum foil. Then again, one major packet will be there. Then the entire carton will be there. So like that, if I want to know total how many number of tablets or capsules I do have, what we do, if that is the case, we go for over here and we take it is equal to this, multiply by this, again multiply by this. This is how we do manually, one by one. Now the same thing when you go for our over here, some product, this is going to give me one short answer.
All right, so basically it's multiplying,
Yeah.
right? The product.
So that is what some product, if you just bifurcate some product. So first it will do the product activity, then it will go for summing of the products. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, welcome. All right, so we have got our question and question 2. It is over clear over here. Now we are going to deal with the basic rounding of our data. So why rounding of data we need to understand, and what is there to learn about this, I'll tell you, because these are the cases where people will spend a lot of time. And when you have the decimals in place at the end of the year, the financial year, we have to always do the reconciliation activity, and there we need to pass one journal entry for the differences because of rounded off. So that can be minimized. So we can get some accuracy about the data. So in that case, let's see how it works out. So we have a prices column, people, you can focus. In this prices column, we have got some decimals and whole numbers as well. So looking at the data, suppose my boss is not happy and he's telling Prabhas, do me a favor. This data you maintain as a source data, but in the next column, please ensure that the data is rounded off to the nearest one unit. So what is the meaning by rounding off the data to the nearest one unit? That is called logical round off. If it is 103.2, mostly what we what we define 103. Do you agree? If it is of 103.2, we go for 103, correct?
Yes.
Similarly, if you go for 111.5, we make it of 112. So that is what he is expecting. But the question is, one case we go for one unit down, like 103.2, we go for the lower unit 103. But one case we go for the upper unit 111.5, we go for 112. We have not gone for 111. Why? Because that is decided by the post decimal character. If post decimal character is 5 or more than 5, we go for one unit up. If it is less than 5, we go for one unit down. So for 103.2, if you discuss, 103 is the lower unit, 104 will be the upper unit. So whatever it is going to come as the answer, either 103 or 104, but that will be decided by the post decimal character. Do you agree with that? This is what the backend operation for logical calculation.
Yes.
So the same thing my boss is also expecting from me. Then how to do that? So here basically our experts, they will suggest to you, or we have been using our formula called round. But today we are going to make a little bit change on that. So instead of round, I would suggest go for M round. See how it works. So M stands for multiple round. What it demands me, the number I have taken, comma. What is the next thing it is asking? Multiple. So we are not going to multiply with any value. Multiple has a different meaning. We are not going to multiply with any value. So what exactly multiple meaning? I'll tell you. The moment we are discussing about 103.2, as I told you, 103 for that is the lower unit. 104 is going to be the upper unit. So what is the difference between these two units? 104 minus 103 is of 1 unit. And that is what he's also expecting, rounded off to the nearest 1 unit. So 1 unit may be up or 1 unit may be down. So that has to be decided by the post decimal character. And when I go for closing the parenthesis and control enter, I got my data. So you can see each and every case exactly it has gone for rounding off logically. So this is how M-round formula will be very helpful whenever you are creating your templates or purchase order, work order, or you are using the cost sheet over there. You can keep all these formulas ready. Whenever the user enters the data, if at all decimals is there, Excel will be automatically taking care about the result. Hope M round is clear for everyone. Working fine.
Yes.
All right. Now it will be more even clear when we go for our next example. Please have a look. There is one more column exactly towards the right side. Now my boss is asking, suppose say, Prabhas, please round up the data of this prices column exactly to the nearest 5 unit. So what does it mean by nearest 5 unit? If I need to answer, then for 103.2, what should be the answer in this column? Yes, people, anybody, just manually check and tell me. Should be 105. Okay. If it is of 87, what should be the answer?
88.
88, how it is? Then how it is going to be rounded up to your nearest 5 unit?
90.
Should be 90. Are you sure it's 90? 85. That's right. Absolutely. Let's go for that understanding. See how it works. I'll tell you. Suppose say for the first case, let's consider the example for the first one. Okay. If I create a scale or if I create a uh, like an interval of 5 units scaling, like taking 0, 5, 10, 15 of skip count of 5. Like this, if I go and create a interval or scaling, 103.2, in which interval this is going to fall? Is it going to fall in between 100 and 105? Do you agree with that? 103.2, is it going to fall in this interval?
Hmm.
Right. So which is the closest one for 103.2? Which is the closest one?
05.
105. So that is what the answer we are expecting. Similarly, if you go and talk about 87, it is going to fall in between 85 to 90 category. Do you agree? So which one is going to come over here? 85. So that is what the answer we are going to achieve. So for that again, what we can do, we can go for M round only. So what it demands me, the number, comma, multiple. As I told you, the meaning by multiple, the difference between the lower unit and the upper unit. So for 103.2, 100 is the lower unit, 105 is the upper unit, and the difference between these two is of 5 units. So similarly, if there is a need of multiple of 10, you can go for it also. So this is how, whenever you are working with your template, this kind of formula plays a very, very important role, people. So make use of the same and understand.
अरे यार करो ना, कर क्या रहे हो?
उसका hint लिख रहे हो.
क्यों hint लिख रहे हो?
Pallavi, could you please keep your mic on mute? If you have any queries, you can ask me. No problem.
Sorry, Prabha.
No problem. No problem. That's fine. It happens.
Got it from us.
Okay, great. So any doubt, any confusion, or any hesitations over here while applications of the formula, feel free to ask. If it is clear, we can proceed. No problem. Now, I believe that everybody is clear. Satish, is it clear for you? Very good. Priya, how is the status? Okay.
I'm not getting the value, Prabhas.
Okay. Let me know what exactly you're doing.
Okay. I'll share my screen.
Please do that.
So over here,
Right. Okay.
And then the number is this.
No. You have to do only one by one. You cannot take the entire range to do the job at once. Just take the first cell only.
Okay.
First cell only. E22 only. Yeah, comma. Then you have to go for one, bracket close. Yeah.
Control enter or just enter?
You have not selected the entire range. That's why you have to go with enter only at this stage. Now you have to go for double click on that fill handle, the drag button. Double click on the drag button in the corner. You getting it? No, not here,
Yeah.
not here, not here. In the previous cell, previous cell. Yeah.
This one?
Yes. Go for dragging button, double click, dragging. No. Not double click over there. Escape, escape.
Oh, just drag.
Yes, double click, double click. You are dragging it. Don't drag it. See, if you have 10,000 records, how much you are going to drag? Just double click on that same drag button, double click. No. Same drag button, double click. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. You can go and apply the same for prices column also, the second column towards your right. Go for that. Select completely. No. Select complete. No. Make a practice. Escape.
Okay.
Escape. Escape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Select the range, complete range. No need to drag now. No need to drag now. Selection. Just select. Entire range. Yes. Now leave your mouse equal to, take the cell from 103. Yeah, M round. Just take M round. Yeah. Yes. Then comma, taking that comma. And then 5. Bracket close, control enter. You have gone for enter. That's the mistake.
Okay.
All right, it has missed out. So now again, click on that, double click on the fill enter. No. See, if you are going for control enter again, committing the same mistake, you are not selecting the range. Yeah. Then immediately go for equal to M round. Then take the cell.
Select the number.
Yeah. Comma 5. Bracket close and hit control enter. Yes. So this is what practice you have to do. All right. So I'm taking the control back on the screen now. There is one more question from Neeta. She has asked me that, let me see, what is that? How you write the formula in 28 row. Okay. So Neeta, what you need to do is exactly whichever the formula you want to showcase as a text mode, just go to that formula, select the formula, copy the formula, then escape, go to the destination cell wherever you want to paste it. But before pasting, hit the spacebar once and paste. So this is not going to be executed as a formula. This will be just treated as a text. All right. Hope it is clear. That answers your query. Okay, Nita. Thank you so much. So now, people, we are going to discuss the next one is, again, we have the same prices column, but we have got a mixed reference or mixed value over here, like some positive and some negative as well. Now, looking at the data, my boss is not quite happy. And he's telling me that, Prabhas, I don't want to see the data. Please get me only the positive values extracted in the next column. So boss is not interested to watch my negative data in the column. He is expecting that only positive values to be extracted in the next column. Okay. So first of all, the moment you watch your data, how do you consider something as negative? Pretty simple. If the data is there within this kind of parenthesis or brackets, or if the data starts with a hyphen or dash symbol, this is negative. If none of them is available, this is a positive one. This is the simple logic we do understand, correct? To consider something as a negative, or by looking at the data, we declare this is negative, correct? Yes, people, do you agree with me? To consider something negative. Now, if none of them is available, it's a positive one. Okay, that is how by looking at the data we consider. Now, suppose say if I ask you, please logically decide whether data is positive or negative, then in that case, what we do? We take each and every cell value and we check, If it is more than 0, it's positive. If it is less than 0, it's negative. This is called logical calculations. Now, the same thing, when you want to do it in Excel, the logical calculations, we have to take the help of a formula called if. So if is a logical formula, and what it demands, just 1 minute, watch my screen, understand. Next 1 minute, you can try. It is asking for a logical test. So logical test I can take from the prices column data. I want to go for a test. Okay, what kind of test? Is it greater than 0? This is the test I want to do. Comma. Value if true. If this is true, if the test is success, then the data, whatever I am dealing with in the prices column, this is positive, and in the next column, the same value should appear. So we'll take that. Okay, comma. What's the next one? Value if false. Because while doing the checking, we never know whether the value is going to be 0 or it is going to be less than 0. We never know. So in that case, if it is less than 0, so definitely value if false, then we do not want that value to be populated in the next column. But there should be some treatment in the next column, like 0, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable, something like that. Then we must retain the same within two double quotation marks or two double inverted quotes. But if you want to retain the cell as blank, then two double immediate inverted quotes. So here people commits a mistake. They define two double inverted quotes, but they define a space in between that. So that is really annoying, because though space is not visible, this is counted as a character. So you have to be very careful. If you want your output to be a blank cell, go for just only two immediate double inverted quotes. Then bracket close, formula is ready. Only for a cell, need to apply for rest. As we know, shortcut control enter. So with immediate effect, you could notice our data only wherever it is positive, that alone is extracted by using this kind of logical formula for Excel naming called if. So please give it a try. Any questions, feel free to ask. Yes, people, everyone is getting the answer. Any doubt, any queries in the same?
Got it, Prakash.
Okay. Now, let us go and analyze the same situation. Whatever we have got it, let's go and analyze that. So in this case, people, okay, though we got the answer, this is what our experts, they do suggest us to do the job like this, but I do not recommend this. Why? Something strange, something surprising, but yes, that's a fact. Why I do not recommend is, I told you in the beginning, one problem. While we starting the training program, I told you what is the most challenging factor is the file space management, file data management. So remember one thing, friends, the moment you have, the more the if formulas, file size will be more. So this is the only reason why I would always state that the bottom line, if formula should not be your first choice. If at all any other alternatives are not there, or if you do not have a replacement for the same, in the worst case, go for the if formulas because it is going to occupy more space. So now, if this is not recommended, then what is the improvement on that? How to make my formula crispy? How to make my formula length minimum? Let's discuss. See, I have a alternative column. I'm going for that. I'll be taking a formula naming called max. Max is nothing but maximum in a range. What is the maximum value? We are going to find out that. What it demands me, number one. So number one, I can take from the prices column. That's fine, comma. Over here, this asks me number two. So here we need to understand one small logic. See, the moment we started comparing the data logically, whether it is positive or negative, which value we have compared with? Zero. Now, same thing we are going to do it over here. So see, what we are trying to do, we are asking Excel to perform a calculations between the number and zero, which is more, that alone to be returned as answer. So we are not discussing anything below zero cases. Jobs becomes very pretty simple, and formula is ready for one cell, need to apply for rest. Control enter. Same thing we see it over here also. Now you tell me, being an audience, if you see the data or formula, which option you prefer to see the most? Option one or option two?
Option.
Definitely.
Option
So
two.
yeah, absolutely. So this is how people, you have to be alert all the time while designing your formulas in Excel, and always try to keep your formula length minimum so that the file size will not be heavy and the data execution also will be faster. So when you are opening your data in front of the audience, or if you're opening your file in front of the audience, it will not take much time to open the file. So this is what the story of our business maths people. So any doubt, any queries in this sheet? So we discussed about the formulas like sum product, small, large, uses of row formula with combination of small and large. And there we have seen the F4 key uses, then M round, then logical conditions, and then a max formula replacing the logic of if, how. Hope it is clear. Yeah,
Yeah, Prabhasakli,
yeah.
I have a question on
Please,
max.
please.
So let's say we do not need hyphen, and if
Okay.
you want to add something else instead of hyphen, so can we do it with
No,
max?
no, because that is again user specific output you are expecting. For that, you have to depend upon if formula, because there is no direct options in the max to get your output with your desired text.
All right, answered. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Now, people, we are going to discuss the next sheet is called numbers challenge. So let's go for that. When you navigate to the numbers challenge sheet, the very first example, let me put it in a story format. Now, suppose say we started working with a project on 1st Feb 2019, and the project is over on 26 April 2020. Now, my boss is simply asking me one question: Prabhas, how many days exactly you spent on that project? Please let me know so that I can make a billing to the customer accordingly. So basically, my boss is expecting that how many business days or working days I spent in this particular project, I want to define that. So in that case, we have got a ready-made formula called net work days in Excel. And what it demands me, start date, we do have, comma, end date, we do have. So two inputs we had in the formula, same thing we have given. Now the moment I hit enter, this is going to give me 321 days. Well, so this is how a simple formula network days, how it is helping us in calculating the business days. We got a basic understanding. So please check it out. Are you getting the same answer, 321?
Yes, Prabhas, got it.
Right. Any questions from anybody?
Does it automatically exclude all the Sundays? Is it?
What is your perception, Param? What you believe?
I think working days. I just wanted to understand. Does it
Mhm.
exclude Saturdays, and how many days does it take as a? Is it 5 working days in a week or 6?
That's absolutely right. So that question should come. I was expecting that. So anybody wish to give a helping hand to answer the question asked by Mr. Param? Anybody? So Param is asking a simple thing. Yes, people. Yes, Dharmin, what's your answer
Yeah.
if Param's question is
I primarily think it is just taking the date range. So holidays and Saturdays, Sundays are not a bother here.
okay. Okay. Anybody else is having a different opinion? Nita, that's not a
Okay, so
problem.
it's just
Mhm.
excluding Sundays, I guess.
Excluding Sundays. Okay. So Nita, that's not a problem. The date format is changing depending upon the system date format. Since your system date is following MMDDYY, could be the case. That's why it is changing. So don't worry about it. But the value remains the same. So for my case, it is first Feb. For your case, it is Feb first. That's the difference. All right. For your understanding, people, I will tell you this formula always takes the answer considering Monday to Friday as a working day. This is default. So working 5 days in a week, it always consider 5 working days in a week because this is a globally accepted format. If you're working with an MNC or overseas counterpart, they work only for 5 working days. So network days always calculate 5 working days in a week, that to Monday to Friday. But when I presented this to my boss is not happy. What he said me, he said, Prabhas, no, this is wrong then. Because in that particular project, we have engaged our resources for 6 working days because we need to meet the deadline. And within that stipulated date, we need to complete the project. That's why we have engaged our resources for 6 working days. Then this is wrong. Absolutely right. What was his next objection is he is telling me, Prabhas, we never worked in the public holidays like January 26, August 15, Dasera, Diwali, or local holidays or Pongal, this, that, and all. If it is there, those days we have never worked. So those things also please eliminate. So in that context, if my boss is asking this kind of question, how to my get answer over here? How to get my answer? Let me take you through. The very next example is exactly matching with that requirement. See the beauty. Compute the business days or working days where Thursday is weekly off. It means out of 7 days, Thursday we are not working for that project. This is one. Start date is same, end date is same, no problem. And one more addition over here is these are the list of holidays we have never worked in that project. If that is the case, then how to get the answer? So here network days is not going to help us. We have to go for another formula called network days.intl. INTL stands for international. And what it demands me, again, same start date we do have, comma, end date we do have, comma. Now see the beauty. It is going to give me a pop-up. So this is the beauty of Excel. This pop-up you will not be getting in Google Sheets. That's the difference. So in this pop-up, you need to only select which day you have never worked. So as per the question, we have never worked in Thursday. So I will go and select Thursday only and see the immediate information towards my right side. It will declare me Thursday is weekend day. And immediately that Thursday also it is coming up with a number called assigning over there 15. So 15 number is nothing but it's a predefined number to consider Thursday only. So I can bring the same in my formula, just manually typing over here, or we can go for double click on Thursday only, or we can select Thursday only and go for the tab key. Whichever it is comfortable, you can go for it. And you will be getting your same number appearing in the formula naming called 15. Now what my formula is demanding, comma, holidays. So holidays is there in my right side column D10 to D15. I should select like this. And the moment I hit enter, can you see that? I'm getting the result 381. So this is how people, whenever there is a need to consider your business days, working days, or to calculate someone's productivity, efficiency, you can always take this formula help and it's going to help a lot. So please give it a try. Any difficulties in understanding, do let me know. Or any question comes up, feel free to ask. Hope Network Days International is clear for everyone, people. Any doubt, any queries? Yes.
So can you
Nita, could you please be more louder because I can't hear you properly. I'm struggling a lot. So if you can be louder
okay.
or you can check your mic. Yeah,
Could you please repeat this one, last one?
sure. So basically network days international we are going to take because our question is saying in a 7 days in a week, only Thursday we are not working. So rest of 6 days we are working. Okay. So considering that if I go for is equal to network days international, this formula is available only in 2010 and higher versions of Excel. If you're into 2007, then this is not going to be there. Now coming to start date, yes, we do have start date. I took it. Then end date, I took it, comma. Then it is asking me, what is your weekend? So as per the question, I am not working in Thursday. So I need to go and select Thursday. Then I have to go for comma after selecting that. Then it is asking me holidays. So holidays I am maintaining in column D, that to D10 to D15. I have to select from the holidays column and then bracket close, enter. You got the data. Now, network days international, we got a clarity how to deal with the same. Now we're going to discuss the next example, very, very important again. So beautiful one, let's go and discuss on the same. Suppose say I have furnished one contract with one of my vendor for AMC, annual maintenance contract on 11th December 2019 for the asset called HP printer. And we fix the AMC period of 16 months. So now the question is, what should be the date of expiry? When this contract is going to be expired, we need to find out that so that we can take a call whether to renew the contract, stop the service. If the asset is not put to use or it is scrapped, then we should terminate the contract. All these things, whatever it is, the decision, we can take it right in time. So manually check and let me know if this is the date of AMC, if this is the duration, what should be the date of expiry? Anybody?
April 11th.
April 11, what is the year?
2020.
Are you sure 2020?
2021.
2021.
2021.
Right, 2021. All right, see, for a particular case to check and get the ideal date, we took this much of time. Think about it. When you open the file, there are 1000 cases like this because you are the sole caretaker of all the AMCs of your organizations. If that is the case, then how to deal with the same? Can you hold a calendar in one hand and keep computing? No way. And one thing for sure, we know whenever there is a date related information to be computed, we have to be pinpoint accurate even for a single day of difference. So how to get that? I'll tell you. Here, our experts, they will suggest you different formulas. Don't go for it. I'll tell you a very simple way how to do it. There is a formula in our Excel naming called E-date. E stands for electronic date. Okay. It demands me start date. We do have date of AMC taken. Then it demands me months. I do have ready-made options for months. Bracket close. Formula ready. Only for a cell. Control enter. But the problem is, if you see this is appearing the data in terms of general format. So now you can ask me a question, Prabhas, how did you know this is a general format? Simple. I select my data, go to home tab. This is showing me general format. Can you see that? This is general format. So Now the objective is we need to convert this format to a date format. The best option. Don't go for right click, format cells and all those things, waste your time. Remember one thing, any point of time, any format, if you happen to convert into date format in Excel, Control, Shift and 3. This hash key, numerical 3, is going to help you along with Control and Shift to convert any format to date format. So Control, Shift and 3 to convert any format to date format. See the beauty? Now the moment I go for this over here, Control Shift 3, did I get that? Yes, absolutely. So this is how people, you can go for this kind of cases whenever there is a need to compute the data, EDATE formula. So please give it a try. Any difficulties, to let me know. And what we learned, a keyboard shortcut for your understanding, I'm typing it over here. Control Shift and this hash key is numerical 3 to convert to date format. So confirm this is working for you.
So that can you show again for the control shift and
Yeah, earlier it was like this. The moment you go for the formula based result, it was coming up with general format. So you got to go for Control, Shift, and this hash key, the numerical 3 value, it is there. You have to press together Control, Shift, and 3 to convert any format to date format.
I got it.
Yeah.
Prabhas, if
Yeah.
we want a date format like MMDDYY, then
Of course, then you have to go for right click, format cells, then you go to this custom and change this. First you need month, right? So you go for then you need date. So go for DD hyphen YYYY. So automatically in the sample
I
data,
got it.
yeah.
I know. I'm asking you, do we have any shortcut key?
No,
for
no, 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 no. That is not,
No.
that is a user specific need. So you have to go for always customizing the same. Excel doesn't have a direct key options for that.
Okay.
Fine then. So where we can use this, many more cases, like if you have got some agreements related, some claims related, or some bank guarantees related data, your records you are maintaining in Excel, or some investment related documents you are maintaining in Excel, anywhere you can make use of this formula. And that is going to help you to make a proper Excel tracker over there in the workplace. And the moment you do the same, our job is not done yet. What is the next thing we need to find out? Though the date of expiry is there, 11 April 2021, is it going to fall in a weekday or weekend? That also we need to identify. So basically we need to create one more column identifying the day for a date. For that, we have to take a formula called text. What it demands me, the value. Value is nothing but date of expiry, comma. What is the next thing? Format text. What is the format we follow? Basically, we have got two formats in our Excel. Globally, we operate with one DDMMYY, the other one MMDDYY, where D is playing the role of day, M for month, Y for year. This is predefined. Only thing is we are following the instructions. So now we are going to deal with within two double inverted comma, go for D 4 times. So what is the significance of typing 4 Ds within two double quotation marks? Is to get the complete string of the day, like Monday, Monday. What if I go for 3 Ds? The first three character, Mon, only we are going to achieve. And is it case sensitive? No, you can go for drop caps also. This is going to work fine. Now, the moment I hit Control Enter, I got my data. See, As we are anticipating the very first case itself, the AMC is going to fall in Sunday. So we must renew the contract before 1 or 2 days. So this is how this formula, text formula, will be very, very helpful to extract a day from a date, because most of the time in our SAP driven records, you will be getting only the date column. You will never be getting a day column. So in that case, you have to generate that column by using the formula text. So kindly check, is it working?
It worked. Thanks.
Right. All right. Now let's do a hands-on practice with regard to this formula, finding the month and year also. So to find our month, what should be the formula? Same text only, taking the value, date of expiry. But in case of format text, I need to take M4 times within two double quotation marks. And the moment I hit Control Enter, you can notice this is giving me the month. Okay. Same text formula helping us to find a month also. Then if at all there is a need to find out year, no need to go for same text formula defining Y 4 times. Formula will be lengthy. We have got a ready-made formula called year. So we can take this year, serial number is date of expiry, Control Enter. So as I was telling you, always try to take your formula length in the minimum level so that file size will not be heavy. All right. Yeah. Any questions from anybody?
No, Prabhas.
Okay. Okay. Fine then. So I'm now going to go for the next example over here. So let me take you through this data first. It's a very beautiful example again, which is going to save a lot of time. See how it is going to work. The moment you look at the data, we have got invoice numbers, we have got invoice dates. Now say, for example, whenever I am working with any industry, though I am selling my product to my customer or I am providing any service to my client, we need to collect GST from our customers. And whatever the GST amount we have collected, we have to pay to the government. We cannot use for our personal benefits. We know that very well. And it is not something like whenever we wish, we can pay to the government. It is between, I mean, within that stipulated time or due date or the deadline, we have to make the payment. Else, the penalty for the delayed payment charges, again, it is going to be attracted. We know that very well. So here the same situation we have. Suppose say 16th June 2015, I raised one invoice. And whatever the GST amount is collected, that is due for payment by 5th of the next month. Like if 16th June is the invoice date, by 5th July 2015 should be paid to the government. 14 December 2015, if it is the invoice date, by 5th January 2016 should be the invoice date. Like that, the due dates we need to find out. If I have got 1,000 cases also, I need to compute like this so that we can make the payment on or before the due date and avoid the penalty for the delayed payment charges. So this is what the sole objective over here. But how to compute that? That is the question. So here people face a lot of challenge. And when you ask them, they end up with lengthy formulas. And again, data accuracy is the biggest question mark over there. So we are not going to struggle like this. So how to make this job easy? Let's have an understanding. So first of all, think like a layman. How to get this job done? If this is the invoice date, what is the objective? If I successfully calculate in that particular invoice which month the data is, it's of June month. If I find out the last date of June, then I have to add only 5 more days to get the due date. Do you agree? If I successfully find out my first invoice date month, June month last date, then 5 more days, if I add it, it will become automatically my due date. Do you agree with that?
That's correct.
Right?
Yep.
So we are facing a challenge only in finding the last date of those months. Why? Because month doesn't have the standard number of days of 30 or 31. It depends upon the named month. Sometimes it is 28, 29, 30, 31. So we have got different set of number of days. So that's why it is more troublesome over here. The challenge is finding the last date of the month. So I will make your job is in that. Let's see. So I'll select all this solution area equal to, there is a formula naming called EO month, end of month. What it demands me, start date, we do have invoice date taken. What is the next thing it is asking? Months. So months, we need to understand the concept. See, date is of June month, correct? So if I am going to find out that month last date, I should go for 0. So 0 stands for current month. So current month, not as in today's month, current month based on the start date. Suppose date is of June, but I am looking for next month last date. So June, what is the next month? July. Then I should go for 1. If the date is of June, but I'm looking for previous month last date. For June, what is the previous month? May. So I should go for -1. So this is what the chronological order in the positive and the negative. If you want to go for future months or the preceding months, you can go for it. And 0 stands for current month. So we are looking for 0, current month. Okay. Now, the moment I hit enter or control enter, if I am selected multiple cells, can you see? Exactly, depending upon the month, the last date of that month is ready. June 30th, December 31st, July 31st, October 31st. So the problem is solved. Where is the major challenge? That problem is solved, but it is not yet accurate. So what we need to do, as we discussed, finding the last date of the month, adding 5 more days. So 5 means 5 more days. Simple. Control enter. Got the result. Exactly, pinpoint accurate. The due date is ready. So this is how people, whenever there is a need, this kind of EO month is going to help you a lot in many states. So here, 3 things we discussed. 0 stands for current month, 1 for next month, and -1 for previous month. Please give it a try. Any difficulties, to let me know. So any queries, people, in EO month formula? Anybody?
No, Prabhas.
Okay,
For me, it's okay.
fine. How about the others? I got 4 confirmation they are done. How about the others?
Prabhas, just to clarify, previous to previous month will be -2, is it?
Absolutely.
Okay, thanks.
All right then. Now let us go for some timestamp related queries, because most of our date related queries will be answered with the previous set of examples, whatever the formulas we discussed with. Now we'll go for looking at the timestamp related. Now take an example. Suppose say I come to office or drop into office at morning 9:30 a.m. So we have our biometric system where we punch our fingers for the attendance purpose, right? Now the time is being captured in the backend of the system like this. What is the format? The format name is hours, minutes, and seconds. All right. This is a globally accepted format. Similarly, when I'm done for the day, again, before leaving for the day towards my home, again, we have got a out time system where we punch our finger and the time is being captured like this. Now, suppose say I am a bit curious to know what is that time I have sought for my office for the day in terms of hours, minutes, and seconds. Then how will I compute it? So what we do, we have a basic standard logic, or we have a practice over here. What is that? Equal to taking the logout time, then we deduct with the login time. Do you agree with that? Most of the time we do. Now, when I go for it over here, what it happens, some cases it works, some cases it fails. It is unable to give me the result. And where it unable to give me the result, let's have a basic understanding about that. If suppose somebody turns up at 8:30 p.m. in the evening, he works for the whole night, and the very subsequent day, 5:30 a.m. in the morning, he leaves the office. In that case, it is unable to compute or find out the result. So now logically, I cannot have two different or three different formula to handle three different situations. See, at the end of the day, these are the time formats. So one universal formula should be there in such a way, irrespective of any shift people turns up, it should give me the difference. So basically here again, our experts, they will suggest you different types of formula. Some people will tell you go for changing the format. Some people, they will tell you go for a different calculations. Don't do it. Don't do anything. I'll tell you a very simple way. Basic mathematics, nothing much. We know in a day how many hours we have, 24, right? Minus login time. What time you log in plus logout time. Simple. Formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. Control F. See the beauty. Any shift people turns up. General, day, evening, night, anything. Our answer is ready. So this is how people, whatever the activity happens within 24 hours of timeline, if you want to compute, whenever you compute your idle time, overtime, anything, this formula is going to help you a lot. So please check it out. Are you getting the same answer? Any different answer? Or if you have any queries, you can ask me. Hope this works. Everybody is clear, correct? Now let us go for the next situation. What if any activity exceeds 24 hours timeline or more than a day? If that is the situation, then how to deal with the same? So let me take you through the data, what we have in a story format so that everybody can connect with it. Take an example. Suppose a lorry or a tanker or a container comes to my factory inside the premises on 16th April 2018 at 9 a.m. along with the material. And it has gone inside, unloaded the material, and on 17 April 2018 at 11 a.m., it has gone outside of the factory gate. Now, I am a bit curious to know how many hours it has taken to unload the material. I would like to know. So just manually check and let me know ideally what should be the answer. How many hours it has taken to unload the material?
13 hours.
Check it
All
out.
right. No, not 13. Yes.
So 26.
26 hours.
Yeah. So 26 hours would be the ideal one, isn't it? So this is one case to compute this much of time we have taken. Just imagine the moment you open the file, you found that near about 1000 vehicle movements happened during that month. So you need to check for 1000 cases. So how will you compute that? So I'll tell you. So first of all, to make our job easy and understanding pretty clear, we'll create some additional columns for our workings like start date and time. You can create along with me. End date and time, and then duration over here in terms of hours. So these are the additional columns we have created for our calculations purpose. Okay. Now, once it is ready, go for it. In the start date and time equal to start date plus start time, like A43 plus B43. Whatever the output comes, don't bother about that, the format, just ensure you are taking the right cell references. Similarly, end date and time is equal nothing but is equal to end date plus end time. Again, don't bother about the output, but take the right cell references that you have to ensure. And finally, the duration when you want to compute the standard logic is equal to end date and time minus start date and time. The moment I hit enter, you can see I'm landing with some kind of decimal value as the answer. So this data we cannot ever express in terms of 26 hours like this. So basically, answer is there, but it is not in proper format. So what we can do, any value, if you want to convert into hours, then simple multiply. How many hours in a day? 24. So multiply by 24. Now over here, the moment I go for 24, if I want to convert my data in terms of number of minutes, so we know an hour has how many minutes? 60. So I can go for further multiplying by 60. So this is how you can keep computing your data. But our answer is right now confined to hours only. So we'll go on complete by multiplying 24. And the moment I hit enter, did you see? I'm getting 26. So this is how the best way to find out your answer with 100% accuracy. For your understanding, I took three different columns, but technically all these three columns can be combined into one column. So check, are you getting the same now? Any difficulties in understanding in this?
Prabhas, can you show it again one more time, please?
Yeah. So which one? We got three columns. So which one you want to see?
Start date and time.
Yeah. So start date and time, don't bother about the output. If it is not coming exactly, don't worry. So take A43 is equal to A43 plus B43. That's it. Output may come date or time or just time alone could be the case also. Don't worry about it. Similarly, end date and time is equal to end date, that is C43 plus D43 end time. So all clear? All right. So this is the story. Yeah. So this is the story of our numbers challenge sheet people regarding the date and time computations, how to make our job easy and getting our data with accurate fashion. We got the answers for all these things. So now we are going to deal with the next sheet. The sheet name is called data presentation. Okay. So we'll come back to this sheet after a short break of 10 minutes. Okay. So in my system, it is 4:26. I am considering 4 minutes time per extra for you. So have a bisc, have a cup of tea or coffee and come back soon. Dot 4:40 p.m. Again, we are going to assemble or resume our training.
440.
Yeah.
Thanks for this.
Yeah. So I'll be mute. I'll be back in up to 10 minutes time. Okay. So please be there so that we can discuss the rest. So I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond in the chat box? Why for yes? All right. So let's go and discuss something over here. Now, the next topic, what you're going to discuss is the data presentation sheet. And the objective is how to make our data informative. So here, nowadays, I would like to tell you one thing, people, our audience is having a different level of expectation. What's that? Like mere presenting the data in numbers alone is not enough nowadays. People don't like it. So what people are expecting? That you should present your data in such a way it should tell some story to the audience, or you should present your data in such a way when people are looking at the data they should be happy watching your presentation, or if you're presenting the data in such a way it should add more information to the data and people will love to see and they will be giving a compliment to your work. So this is what we have to always focus with. So if that is the case, then how to deal with? So take an example. Suppose say my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire revenue data for the whole year. So what I did month wise or product wise, whatever the Excel sheets I had prepared, the same I have consolidated and this is the final summary I have made it. Now this data is ready for presentation, not an issue, but anybody can do that. So when I am presenting my data, how this is going to be different from others. Or now the objective is what else we can do over here so that the data will be, there will be a value additions to the data. So looking at the data, please give me your best opinion on this. What else we can do, people? Param is saying we can present our data in a graphical format, that is a charts and graphs. Okay, bar chart, pie chart, column chart, line chart, anything you can do. First, fine, we can consider one aspect. Data can be presented in chart format. All right. What else? Anybody else? Don't worry, we are not conducting any kind of assessment. Whatever you feel, if in front of you this kind of data is there, what is the best thing you can do? We are discussing that. Uh, well, Param is saying quarter-wise we can make a bucket of data. Okay, that's not a value addition. We can say this is just a grouping of the data. Param, at this state, I don't consider that. Sorry. Yes. Anything else? Anybody?
Can show increase or decrease in the revenue.
That's a good one. So month-wise data we can compare and we can find out the growth, whether it is positive or negative, whatever it is. So that we can do. Very good. What else? Well, Neeta is saying
Now,
conditional
it's
formatting. Yeah, I'll come to that. Neeta is saying conditional formatting. So Neeta, conditional formatting, what you can do? What exactly you want to do? Well, so if you are looking for conditional formatting, as I understand, which month we have got the maximum revenue, which month we have got the least revenue. If you want to do some coloring, you can go for that. Okay, that's fine. We can do that. So coloring and design with conditional formatting, fine. Now, Param is coming up with some idea called MAT data. Param, could you please explain what is MAT in your opinion?
So moving average total, how is the trend? So while in 1 month, the sales might have gone up when we take, because we have a full year data, probably it's good to look at how the averages are moving, just to understand.
Right.
Is there a trend to this?
Right. So taking a benchmark as your average of this 12 months data and comparing from average to each month. Well, that's also a concept we can add it. Well and good. Very good. All right. So thanks for the participation in the discussion, people. So let us first have an understanding with the minimum requirement. In any data, wherever you are working with, we need to have a total. Total is missing. Can you see that? So we'll start from this point. So keeping the cursor in the bottom, go for Alt equal to the keyboard shortcut, Alt equal to have a immediate total. So please confirm everybody has got the total of 33,715. Check. Are we getting the same? Great. First thing done. Now, I'm going to take two names from our group again, one more time. Suppose say, this is what our friend Neeta, she is presenting to Param. Neeta, if I take your name for story, is there any objection? Fine, thank you so much. Now, suppose Neeta is presenting the same to Mr. Param. So Param is watching the data. He would be definitely happy because the data is there in terms of numbers. Which one? Revenue. But when Param is going to present the same to the management people or the global leaders, take an example. In that case, management people are not happy watching the same and they don't like seeing the numbers in billions, millions or lakhs and crores. They want to see the revenue data, but in terms of percentage. So our next requirement, Neeta has to create a column naming called revenue percentage. So let's go on create it. Now, what should be the formula for revenue percentage calculation? See the beauty. I will go for equal to taking the revenue for the month of Jan. I should divide it with the total revenue. Now this cell should not move down. I will lock it. Do you agree with the formula? To calculate revenue in percentage, do you agree with this formula?
Yeah.
Yes. Any queries? Okay. So I consider everyone agrees to this formula, but here our practice we have to get the data in percentage, we go and multiply with 100, which is not really required. So we complete our formula with this, and the moment I hit enter, I got my data in terms of decimals. But we need to present our data in terms of percentage. So I'll tell you one more beautiful information. Any point of time to convert any format to percentage format, Control Shift 5. Can you see the numerical key 5 is already holding a symbol called percentage? So you need to use this along with Control Shift 5. So Control Shift 5, the moment I go for this, it automatically turns into percentage. Now, taking the mouse pointer, just double click on the fill handle button, and the moment I go for a total, this is going to give me 100%. So check, are you getting 100% as the revenue column, percentage column total? So everybody is clear with our value addition column, revenue percentage? Any query, feel free to ask. Satish, is it clear?
Yes.
Priya, what's the status?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, great. Fine then. Pallavi, are you with me?
Prabhas, there was a data lag. Sorry, I couldn't hear properly.
Okay. See, what we are doing is exactly the moment we have got our data over there, revenue in values, we have to get it in revenue in percentage. So basically to get that, each and every month, we have to divide it with our total revenue. So that's the first question. Do you agree with this formula?
Yes.
Now, when I copy this formula towards down, only my revenue month data should come down, but total revenue should remain the same. This cell should not move down. B17 should not move down. For that, we have to lock it with F4. And the moment we go for this, this is going to show me the data in terms of decimals. But our data headers are there, revenue percentage. So any format to convert into percentage format, Control Shift and 5. Since 5 numerical keys already holding percentage format, we can go for Control Shift and 5. So it will immediately convert my data into percentage format. And the same, the moment I go on double click on the fill handle, it is going to give me the total as 100%. All right. So now, as per the requirement, as we discussed, next requirement is the growth column. To compare the data month and month, we have to create a growth column. So Nita has to create a new column called growth to present the same to Param. So what should be the formula for growth column? Let's have a basic understanding. So our data, if you look at the first month is Jan. So growth for the month of Jan should be nothing, because before Jan, do you have anything? No. So growth for the month of Jan is nil. But the moment you go to Feb, we have got something to compare with. So what should be the formula? Is equal to Feb month revenue minus Jan month revenue. Do you agree with this formula? Yes. So the moment you go and hit enter, you got your status from Jan to Feb. Revenue status is in decreasing trend. Fine, that's okay. Now double click on the fill handle. You will be getting your answer populated for the rest of the cases. And this is called one more value addition to the data, finding growth, month and month comparison of the data and in terms of values. Hope everyone is clear to this. Right. Now, the moment we have done with this, suppose say our friend Nita has presented the same to Param. So Param would be happy watching the data growth in terms of value, no problem. But when Param is going to present the same to the management, they are looking for growth, but not in values. They are looking for growth in percentage. So our next requirement is over here, growth in percentage. Okay. Yeah, Param, that's what I was about to say. I mean, see, we are going one by one step. So it's not mandatory that all the time you have to present in person. It depends upon the target audience. So growth in percentage, what should be the formula? Like growth for the month of Jan is nil. Ideally, growth percentage also is supposed to be nil. When we go for growth percentage for the month of Feb, what should be the formula? Equal to whatever the growth we have identified from the left, comparing the month data in Jan month, that should be divided with the base month. So for Feb, which is the base month, is the January. So do you agree with this formula? Now, the moment I hit enter, I got my result, but it is there again in decimals. But we are presenting the data in terms of percentage. So I told you to convert any format into percentage format. Control, Shift, and 5. So friends, anybody's mic is on. Could you please mind putting it on mute? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Unmute yourself. No problem. And ask your questions. And the same, yes, absolutely. The same we can apply for the rest. So now growth in percentage column is also ready. So this is one more value addition we have provided over here. So revenue percentage is ready. Growth in value is ready. Growth in percentage is ready. These are called nothing but the statistical calculations of our data. It is not confined to only finance or accounts. Any department, wherever you are working with, though it's HR, consumption stores, production planning, or finance, accounts, sales, marketing, anywhere, this is very much needed. And it is by inherent in the nature, when you're presenting the data, you must present all these things. Nobody will be demanding for all these things. All right. So I believe everybody is clear. So far, so good. Great. Now we are going to discuss what else we can do in this piece of data to make it more informative. See, here, most of the time, what it needs over here is, I'll tell you, the moment we are working with our revenue data, okay, when Jan month business gets complete, we show Jan month is the revenue. But when we goes for completing the Feb month business, we do not show only Feb, we show Jan plus Feb. And when we complete March, we show Jan, Feb plus March. What do you call all these things? We call it as a cumulative data, or in technical terms, we call it as a running total. But when we are working with a corporate reports, we need to go for proper corporate jargon usage. And technically, we call it as YTD, year to till date. Very good. So now the moment I go for YTD, what should be the formula? Exactly, the Jan month YTD is nothing but the Jan month revenue. Do you agree? Jan month revenue is nothing but Jan month YTD. Can we take it? Yes. The moment we go to Feb, can we take the formula equal to Jan month YTD plus Feb month current revenue? Do you agree with this formula?
Yes.
The moment I hit enter, I got my data ready in the cumulative fashion over here. And the same I can apply for the rest. And the moment I reach to the month of December, is it matching with my total revenue? So I am in the right track. This is how you can self-confirm that whatever task I am doing, I am in the right track. Okay. So this is called our YTD. So this is how one more value additions to the data we have made it. Now, when our friend Neeta is presenting the same to our friend Param, He might be interested watching YTD in terms of value. But when Param is presenting the same to management, they are looking for YTD, but in terms of percentage. So now, what should be the formula for calculating our YTD percentage? Let's have a look. As we discussed, Jan month revenue is nothing but the Jan month YTD. Similarly, Jan month revenue percentage, can it be acted as a YTD percentage for the month of Jan? Do you agree with the formula? Yes, people? What's your opinion? Can we take this formula as YTD percentage for the month of Jan? Well, now the moment we go to Feb month equal to Jan month YTD percentage plus Feb month current revenue percentage. Can we take this formula? It's nothing but the same logic what we applied for YTD.
Yes.
Now, the moment I go for this, my YTD percentage column comes up with cumulative. And the moment we go for double click on the fill handle, when I reach to the month of December, am I getting the total of revenue percentage column matching over here? So I'm in the right track, isn't it? So the revenue percentage is matching over here. And if I go for revenue total, this is matching over here. Right? So this is how taking the live data, people always keep practicing about presenting the data in this fashion, and people will love to see when you present it. Okay. So any doubt, any questions you can ask me in this juncture.
We could have also divided the YTD month by the total and then arrived at the percentages.
Yeah, you can do that also. No problem. There are three different ways you can go for this divided with this, or you can this divided with this, whichever. Yeah, YTD percentage formula. So the first one for the month of Jan, as it is revenue percentage, you can connect. Then going to Feb, you have to go for this formula.
But I think as a formula, the better way to express it is when you divide the YTD revenue for the month by the total revenue, so that the formula is clear. I think that's good.
Not necessary. See, it's a different logic. The objective is to same. It's not mandatory that is the best or this is the best. Wherever you are going to get it. So take an example. Why I take this? Why then in that case, YTD, why we have gone for this and then we have added to this. To make the similar logic for percentage also, I have taken it. But if you are not clear, if you are having already the practice, you can follow. I'm not asking you to change the practice. I'm just telling what is that you can do.
But
Yeah. All right, people. So I'll do one thing over here. Just give me a second. So I'm pasting as an object or image in this. So anything is missing from this point, you can always look at this and get your formulas rectified, no problem. Now, once our data is ready in this format, I request everyone, ensure one thing that always whenever you are presenting your data, it should give a tabular format or feeling. So keeping your cursor inside the data, go for Control A to select it. Okay. And apply the borders to give a tabular feeling. So how to apply the borders? You can go for Alt H for home, B for border, A for all border. Or you can go to home and border. Here you can choose all border with the help of mouse. So whichever it is comfortable for you, you go for it. Objectives to apply the border. So I'm just typing the keyboard shortcut. You don't need to press everything together and struggle over there. Just go for one by one. Alt, then remove the finger, then H, remove the finger, then B, remove the finger, then A to all borders. So this is the minimum formatting we must do whenever we are presenting our data. All right. So first thing we did it, applying the borders. Now coming to the latest style. The moment you are presenting the tabular data in the latest style, what it says, the first column should be aligned to the left. And rest of the columns, whatever you have, you should align to the center. And to align the data to the center, go for Alt, H for home, A for alignment, C for center. Or you can go to home, alignment group, and you can go for center over here also. So again, whichever it is comfortable for you, go for application of central alignment. So I type it, Alt, H for home, A for alignment, C for center. So center alignment. So minimum data formatting in Excel, it is necessary because tomorrow when you want to carry your data to PowerPoint, suppose you have presented this, you want to carry this to PowerPoint, you hardly need to struggle over there because you have already taken care about the formatting in Excel. And going to PowerPoint, simply just go for right click, present as an image, and people will love to see such kind of beautiful information over there. And you need to hardly struggle over there. So this is how the moment you have got the data, how to make it informative and how to present it effectively, we got the basic understanding. Hope it is clear how to make our data informative, people.
Yes, Prabhas, this red and blue color, what and how did you do? Can you just show it again? I missed it.
Sure. You can select the area which you want to color it. I have selected my first column. I have gone to home. So instead of fill color and font color, there is a cell styles. We have got a category, cell styles. So I have taken this theme cell styles from the bottom section. I have taken this too. So this is in home, this is in cell styles, and this is the category.
Is it available in other versions also?
Yes, yes.
I'm just not able to.
Yes, yes, it is there. You can check it out next to the format as table option. You will be finding conditional formatting, format as table, then cell style in the same group itself. Yeah. All right, so now we are going to discuss the next topic. Exactly below to that, you will be finding naming call, how to make our data presentable. So as I told you, when you are working with Excel, presentations also plays a great role. So we have to be very bit careful over there while presenting our data. Okay, so it is not appearing properly. Let me see what is the problem. Right. Fine, then let's go and discuss about this. Okay, same data you can notice. So entire 12 months revenue data we do have. Okay, I'm just continuing with the same question with our friend Neeta and Param. Now, suppose say this is what the data Neeta has created and she has to present it effectively to Param. So what Neeta can do, select entire data, go to home. There is an option called format as table. In home tab, after conditional formatting, format as table, go for it. It will open in three broad categories like light, medium, and dark. Always go for light or medium. Do not go for the dark options because remember one thing, the more the dark colors, again, file size will be more. So always take light or medium. So I took one medium. I'll just click on one thing. And the moment I click, it will take you to a dialog box. So you can click OK. So with immediate effect, you will be noticing that you got your data beautifully arranged, aligned, and formatted. Like what is the benefit? Alternate rows are highlighted, headers are properly defined with some kind of background colors. Then thick borders are applied to the headers, filter buttons are activated, and at the end of your data, you can see again a thick border over here. So compared to the previous version of data, now this is somewhat looking more meaningful, presentable. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Right. So looking at the same over here, anybody will be happy. So now the same thing happened with our friend Neeta also. Looking at the data, Param is happy with that. And Param is giving a compliment to the work of Neeta. That Neeta, you have done a great job. The data looks so meaningful and lucrative and presentable. Keep it up. Now, one thing we know, when boss is happy, what happens, Neeta? Neeta, the question is for you. If your superior, whomever you are presenting the data, he is happy or she is happy, what happens next? Promotion, increment, elevations to the next level. Is it happening? No, that is due at the year end. But instant notice what happens? The expectation level goes high and the workload increases. That is what the fact. And the same thing happened with our friend Neeta also. What Param is immediately asking, Neeta, you have given me the revenue data. That's fine. But I want to know to generate this much of revenue, how much incentives we have paid. That is what Param is asking now. Now, suppose say in our organization we have a uniform policy. Whatever the revenue we generate out of that 2% we declare as an incentive. Now, taking that input, if Neeta has to prepare a column naming called incentive, first of all, she has to go to the next column and type the name incentive and see the beauty. The moment you hit enter, what happens? Same formatting is carried forward to the next column. So have you ever seen while designing a table, working with the table, your format goes along with the table? No. So this is one more advantage of your format as table option. See how it is saving time for us. Now, coming to the formula, incentive calculations, as we told or discussed, it should be 2% on revenue. So we'll go for is equal to B24. So when I took B24, I click it, automatically it takes this square bracket, at the red symbol, column header name, and all this. This is the predefined formatting feature of our table format. You don't need to go and create and don't bother about creating this also. It automatically takes, don't worry. Then multiply, asterisk, how many percentage? 2%. And see one more beauty. The moment I hit enter, it is not only applying to a cell, but also the entire column. So I no need to go for dragging the formula, copying, pasting the formula, or control D, control enter, nothing is required. So can you imagine how your speed is going to get increased because of format as table? So this is how revenue is ready. Incentive is also ready. Hope it is clear.
Yes, Prabhas got that.
Yeah. So how about the others? I got 4 confirmations.
Yes, Prabhas.
Okay, great. So if at all any doubt is there, feel free to ask. Don't skip it.
Bas, I
Yeah.
have a doubt. Now, this data looks beautiful over here, but when we take it to PowerPoint, will it be similarly like this, or will the format change and again we have to do resetting?
No problem. See, again, you can take this. I am selecting this. I have copied that and I have gone to PowerPoint. If I want to present it in PowerPoint, I can maintain the same formatting over here. You don't need to hardly struggle over there. It will be retained.
Got it.
Yeah. Now, coming back to our data. So revenue is ready. Incentive we have computed. Ideally, the next column would be net revenue. So let us go and create another column naming called net revenue. And the moment you hit enter, you can notice again similar formatting has been carried forward to the next column. So what should be the formula for net revenue calculations? Basic mathematics is equal to revenue column, that is B24, minus incentive column C24. So when you go for equal to, click B24 minus C24, the moment you hit enter, again, your net revenue column is ready. So with instant notice, you could see how this format as table option helps in our data calculation easily over there by taking care about the formatting by itself. So our data is ready, but ideally to complete a tabular presentation of the data, we need to have a total, but total is missing. The total is still not there. Can you see? So technically what we do to create a total, we go and manually define a text, go for a formula, sum, and all those things. So here it is not required. We don't need to go and spend time for creating a total. See the beauty. Keeping the cursor anywhere in the tabular data, anywhere in the tabular data, you'll see on your ribbon tab naming an option called design, table design, or tools options, depends upon the version what you have in the extreme right. It is automatically get activated. So this is called your contextual tab. And this appears only if you have your cursor in a table. And there we have an option called total row, which is not selected. You can see in this table design, we do not have the checkbox on of total row. So this is supposed to be activated. So kindly activate this and see the beauty. With immediate effect, you will be finding a total row in the bottom phase of data will be ready with no time. But the thing is, it is just going to give the total for net revenue. What if I want the total for revenue column? No problem. Keep your cursor in the total. Immediately, you will be finding a drop-down list is created. If you click that drop-down list, it will show the list of formulas. And ideally, to get a total, which formula we use? We go for some formula. So go and select. See, everything is there. We need to only customize according to need. So that's the beauty of format as table option. So I believe everybody is getting this total row added on their respective tables. Yeah, you can use that, Nita, all the time. Alt equal to is there, not Alt plus actually, it's Alt equal to.
Otherwise, we are getting these drop downs. Is there a way to remove them?
Yeah, we have a option to remove them, but why you want to remove? May I know the objective so that I can tell you what is the right option?
So when we are trying to paste this, we would be also getting these drop downs in the PowerPoint. Suppose I just want to present the data, but I don't want a drop down against that month coming.
Okay, all right. So if that is the case, it is a hick actually. Suppose say take an example and you do not want, we have an option, same table design, we have an option filter button. You can deactivate.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. All right, so let us now go on discuss to complete this. As I told you, whenever you have the tabular data, okay, keep your cursor in the header and go for Control A. Keeping the cursor in the header, go for Control A. So the minimum requirement, as I told you, always give a feel of a table by applying the borders. So go for the keyboard shortcut or the mouse option, whichever it is comfortable to apply the borders. Now, as I told you, the first column in the data, the latest style says it should be aligning to the left. Rest of the columns should be aligning to the center. So keyboard shortcut, Alt H A C. Now, once we have done with this, then what's next? See, here one more problem you can notice. Look at my screen, please. The moment we have done, you can notice some cases like this revenue USD. If I go and activate my filter button, since I have deactivated, it is showing the details properly. If I go and activate from table design filter buttons, revenue USD, incentive, net revenue, some texts are not properly visible. This is one problem. And we get these problems so many times while copying the data from one Excel workbook to another Excel workbook. What it happens, it comes with the hash symbols in the columns. And what we do, we take our mouse pointer to the column headers and we keep expanding with double click, double click, double click on the column headers, which is really a time consuming job. So the best option, what I suggest is whenever you copy and paste your data, if the data is not visible properly or it is showing the hash symbols, simple, go for a keyboard shortcut. Alt, O for format, C for column, A for autofit. So basically, if you go for a keyboard shortcut, Alt, O for format, C for column, A for autofit. So autofit of column width. We need all these formatting related keyboard shortcuts the most in our routine activities. So better you go and navigate through keyboard shortcuts. But if you are not interested in using keyboard shortcuts, you can go to home, format, autofit of column width.
Can you just repeat this? To do
Sure.
this, where do I need to keep the cursor?
You have to select the data, column B, column C, column D completely from this tabular data. And then you have to go for one by one, Alt, then O, then C, then A. So autofit of column width. Else in the home tab, format and autofit of column width. Well, Nita is saying I did not see the table. Well, Nita, you can keep your cursor anywhere in the table. You will be finding table design in the extreme right. If you keep your cursor in the table, then only it will be activated. That's why I told you it's a contextual tab. Can you see now? Okay, could you please share your screen? Let me have a look. Right, you keep your cursor in the table. Yeah, table design, it's visible. See, extreme right table design is there. After help, view, you are in the view tab. You are in the view tab. You go to next, right, towards your right. Now you are in review. After right, you go for right, extreme right, there is table design. Yes, that's the tab. So go for total row. You select total row. That checkbox is not activated. Total row in the table design, no need to select. Keep your cursor in the table anyway. Total row, just left. Yes, absolutely right. You got the total. Now go for revenue column total. Revenue column, revenue USD column total cell towards your left, Yeah, that's right. Go for the drop down, choose some formula. All right. Yeah. All right, people. So I'm taking the control back on the screen. Now, so this is how the moment you have done with all your necessary formattings with format as table. Now, final step, select all your numbers. Select all your numbers and ensure that whenever you are presenting your numbers, number formatting should be there. Like, what do you mean by number formatting? So number formatting says that each and every number should be having a decimal place, and post decimal maximum 2 characters should be retained. And before decimal, whatever the data you have, either you have your comma separator for thousands or billions or millions, whatever it is, it should be available. So all these three things should be there. But to have the same at once, what we can do, remember one thing, any format, if you want to convert to number format, Control Shift 1. Control Shift 1 will be helping you out to convert any format to number format. Check it out. We got it. Decimals added, post decimal maximum 2 characters uniformly all the places, before decimal comma separator also available. So this is how you can make your presentation. And if you do not want post decimal characters, of course, you can go to home, decrease decimal twice. So this is the story of our data presentation sheet, people, how to make our data informative, how to make our data presentable. Those things we are clear. Now, with this, we'll go for our next sheet. What's that? Is the date calculation. Okay. So let me take you through the data, what we have with us and what is the objective. Let me take you through that first. Then we'll proceed and work over here. Suppose, say, take an example. In my department, these are the employees working. Okay, or I'm the team leader or I'm the leader of this department. My management has given a task to me that, Prabhas, whoever the people working with you, please find their experience as on date and submit us a report. Well, so management has given their date of joining of those employees. They have given it to me. So only thing is I need to compute what is those employees experience starting from date of joining till date in terms of years, months and days. So this is what the job I have received. Now you must be thinking, Prabhas, this is the HR job. Why I have to do this? Because I am into supply chain management over here, but I am doing the HR job. Could be the case. Sometimes you cannot deny this is not my role. This is not my portfolio job, so I should not do it. So sometimes there is a demand, you need to do it. And sometimes management decentralize the job and automatically they seek the information from the respective department. So we have to do it. But how to do that? And we have to be pinpoint accurate even for the same. I'll tell you how. Here again, our people, they will tell you different setup of formulas. And sometimes people will tell you go for changing the format. Don't do anything because whatever you do, finally, it will be leaving you a question mark about the data accuracy. So to do this job effectively, There is only one way out. And what is the formula we can take? It is a hidden formula of Excel, naming called date diff. This formula is hidden. Since inception, 1985, this formula is hidden till 2021. But you can find the same formula on with Google Sheets. It's the open end. And if you compare between Google Sheet and Excel, Microsoft Excel, about this formula exclusively, Google Sheet is far better than Excel in this context, in this particular formula itself. Rest of things, something is better than in Google Sheet, something is better in Microsoft Excel. So there is no comparison, and it is very difficult to make a conclusion statement over here, which is better in compared to our Microsoft Excel and Google Sheet. So it has got its own advantage and disadvantage, limitations also there could be the case. Anyway, so let's confine our operations to Microsoft Excel. How to do this? Let me take you through. Since this is a hidden formula, let me take you through something. To prove that this is a hidden formula, see, any point of time, no need to do anything, just look at my screen. Since afternoon, whatever the formulas we were discussing, if I go for ED, it shows me EDate. What is EDate formula? That information is completely visible. If I take open bracket over here, Excel also gives me a helping hand how to write this formula. Whereas if I go for date diff, do I get anything? No, because this is a hidden formula. And trust me, there is a formula. But here people always does the wrong pronunciation of formula. What they believe, there is a if logical condition is there. They read it as dated if. No, technically this is a date related formula. You must read it as date, take a pause, diff, date, diff. You have to read it. Okay. And since the instructions are not visible, let's work together. So go to year column, keep the cursor below and type a formula date diff. Make sure you are typing the spelling properly, DATEDIF. When you go for open parenthesis, what is the first input? Whenever you start with any date formula, the first input be start date. If you recall any date formula, always it starts with a start date. So in our case, the start date is nothing but the date of joining taken, comma. What would be the next input? Whenever you are comparing the difference between two set of dates like network days international, what was the second input? The end date. But in our case, what is our end date? When we are going to calculate this experience, we are going to calculate the experience as on date, means as on today. So our end date is nothing but today's date. So today's date purpose, we can use a ready-made formula called today, open parenthesis and close parenthesis. So this is a formula predefined by Microsoft, whose basic job is to, whatever your system date is there, that date is going to be generated on your formula. So since my system date is today's date, that is called 14th May 2022, it is going to generate over here. This is the job, comma. What is the next input? We are calculating the difference in column year. So our third input has to define to our year component. So for the time being, let's take a cell above to the year and there close your parenthesis and hit enter. So did the formula we have completed with the instructions. The moment I go and hit enter, I am getting some error. Hash none. Reason, out of three inputs, two inputs we have provided so far, third is defined to a blank cell. And as we know, date format, DDMMYY or MMDDYY, what represents our year is the Y. So please go and type Y over there. This is predefined. Y represents our year. And the moment you hit enter, you got your result. So can you see? Though date diff is a hidden formula, how to write it? What is the role of today formula to generate today's date? What is the role of Y text operator to generate your year? So please just look at that and confirm. Now, we got the answer per year. Let's go and do a hands-on practice, finding the answer for month with M, day with D. So let's go and complete the formula. Is equal to date diff, start date, comma, today formula, comma, Excel operator. Similarly, for day also is equal to date of joining, comma, today formula, and Excel operator. So please confirm you got the same values as I'm showing on the screen.
Yes, Prabhas, got it.
Okay. Fine then. Now kindly stay focused on my screen and let's analyze this situation. Can we consider the first employee's experience in this format, like 13 years, 160 months, 4,882 days? Can we answer over here? Is this the right format?
No.
So then what is the result, whatever we have received, what is that exactly? This is nothing but the individual component wise differences, like year wise 13, month wise 160, day wise 4,882 days. But our requirement is something different. When we go and combine year, month and days, it should be giving me the entire experience. Or the other way, if you discuss in the month category, when it is there 160 numbers, okay, we know one thing. Whenever number of month reaches to 12, it becomes 1 year. Do you agree? So if I want to know how many months are there, how many years are there in this month category, what is the basic mathematics we apply? Is equal to number of months divided by 12. Do you agree with this formula?
Yes.
And when I go and hit enter, what I'm getting? 13 decimal 333 means 13 years it is already there. So 13 years already taken to the year column. So that cannot be again represented in the month category, isn't it? So in this case, month column should express only 0.3333, all these decimals alone to be there in the month category. Whatever the completed years, it should be expressed in the year column. So to make it happen over there, go to our Excel operator. Instead of M, go for YM. So YM stands for year to month, the incomplete month in a complete year. And the moment you hit enter, can you see? Automatically 13 years have been removed and it is left with only the months, the incomplete month in a complete year. Similarly, go to our Excel operator for day. Instead of D, go for MD, month to date, the incomplete days in a complete month, and see the beauty. Immediately, it is going to express our experience of that employee like 13 years, 4 months, 13 days. So this is how we have understood, though date diff is a hidden formula, how to write it. What is the role of today formula to generate today's date? What is the role of our Excel operators? Y for year, YM for year to month, MD for month to date. Any questions? Please feel free to ask before proceeding further.
So, Prabhas, Dharmin here.
Yeah.
So this, now we did it only for this employee code A0003.
Mhm.
So now in this angle, we can't just drag it down, right? Because the formula is.
This is what you're talking about. This is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
that is what we discussed in our small and large case also. When we copy this formula towards down, if you see the first case, the error, My date of joining should move down, no problem. But my Excel operator is there in D4 technically, but this is moving to D5. Can you see that? My third input has to refer to D4 cell, but that is also moving because this is the default nature of Excel. So we need to rectify. We need to rectify, selecting the same D4 to be logged. It should not move down, Control Enter. Similarly, month also, E4 should not move down, Control Enter. Day 2, F4 should not move down, Control Enter. Then only we can rectify.
Okay. Sorry, can you repeat this once again?
Yeah. So we got our first formula ready. Is that clear?
Yes.
Now, as we know, once a particular case, the formula is giving the answer, the same formula we can apply for down also. And to apply the formula down, Control D to fill down. Control D, D for down.
You selected all the cells and then you pressed down, is it?
Control D. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Got it.
Right. Now, what we need to do, as we know, since the errors are in place, though our start date is moving down, but our Excel operator should not move down. So for D4, we need to lock it. This moment we have to restrict. Control Enter. Again, month we have to select completely. Only E4 should not move down. So we have to lock it with F4. Control Enter. Similarly, for day, we have to select F4 and lock it. Control Enter. Then only we can get our solution completely. Friends, anybody's mic is on, could you please mind making it mute? Thank you. So any doubt, any queries, people, so far?
No, Prabhas.
Okay.
Right.
Now, let us analyze the situation. Though we got the answer, absolutely fine, no problem. But the thing is, going to each and every column, editing the formula, rectifying the cell with locking with F4, 3 different times. Are you comfortable doing the same? We did it because we need the answer, we did it. But technically, are you comfortable doing the same?
No.
So when we are not comfortable, how Excel is going to recommend for that? What we did is our experts, they do recommend to do the job like this, but technically Excel never recommends for that. Neither I do advise to do the job like this. So what we did is ruled out. We should not do like that. So what we need to do, select your yellow colored solution area and delete. Select your yellow colored solution area and delete. You must be thinking, Prabhas, what kind of trainer you are? We are putting all our efforts to understand the things better. Finally, you are saying this is not the recommended one. See, sometimes we need to learn from our mistakes also. That's why I had to take you through. Don't worry, we are going to find the best one. All right, so once we selected all the yellow colored cells, okay, keep your mouse aside and go for equal to date diff open bracket parenthesis and take the first input. What's that?
Date of joining.
Right. What is the cell address it has picked up?
C6.
So what is the role of C?
Date of joining.
No. What is the role of C in C6? What is the role of C?
So that's row.
Is the
Column.
is the column. What is the role of 6?
That's the row.
That's the row. So we have understood what is cell. Now, when I copy this formula towards down, C6 is going to move to C7, C8, C9, C10, and so on. Do you agree with that movement?
Yep.
Right. Now, when I pronunciate the movement C6, C7, C8, C9, C10, which one sounds common?
C.
So we have understood our data is not stopping, our data is moving, but it is moving within a column. So when data is moving within a column, instead of locking the cell completely, lock only the column. And to lock the column only, we need to bring the dollar symbol before column. And to bring the dollar symbol before column, we need to hit our F4 key 3 times. We need to hit our F4 key thrice. So once, twice, thrice. Now see, do we get dollar symbol before column? When you hit F4 key 3 times, are you getting the same on your screen? Please confirm.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So this is the setup called column lock or column constant or column freeze, comma. What's the next input? End date. End date is today's date. So today's date, today formula, we can add it. And this doesn't need any locking because the default nature of today formula is whichever the cell you are defining, this is going to generate today's date. So it doesn't need any kind of locking. Fine, comma. What's the next input? Your Excel operator. Now you have to hold on a bit. When we copy this formula towards down, D4 should not move to D5. But when I copy this formula towards right, D4 should move to E4. E4 should move to F4 for day calculation. So how the movement is there? D4, E4, F4. Which one sounds common?
4.
What is 4?
Row.
So we have understood again, our data is not stopping, it is moving, but it is moving in a row. So when data is moving within a row, we need to lock only the row. And to lock the row only, we need to bring the dollar symbol before row number. And to bring the dollar symbol before row number, F4 twice, F4 2 times, once, twice. So this is the setup it was missing. Now we have made it. Now bracket close. Formula we have defined only in one cell. Need to apply for the rest. Control Enter and see the beauty. One shot. Entire tabular cells are applied with your solution. So this is how you are supposed to design a formula in a table. So depending upon the cell movement, you have to lock your row, column, or cell. So F4 once, cell constant, no movement, neither towards down nor towards right. F4 twice, only row constant, but column will be free. F4 thrice, column will be locked, but row will be free. So taking the live data, keep practicing about this reference part, very, very essential, and it will avoid your duplication of work also. So I believe everybody is clear. Any doubt, any questions?
So Prabhas, this dollar before will be for the column,
Right.
and after will be for the row.
Don't remember
and
it. No, no.
One more for dollar the column, dollar row. So in that it will be locked in all cases. Right?
That is what you just remember in this way. It is either before column or before row. Don't see before column or after column. Before column or before row.
Okay.
If it is before column, column is locked. If it is before row, row is locked. If it is before both, then no movement.
Got it.
Right. Yes, people, this is the story of our date calculations. Any questions from anybody? Everything is clear?
Yes.
Right. Now let us go for our next over here. The sheet name is called Goal Seek. So we are going to discuss a beautiful feature of our Microsoft Excel is one of the data analytical tool called GoalSeek, which will be helping you to arrive at the decision easily. So instead of doing hit and trial and error method, with one instant, how to get our result and take a immediate decision. This is going to help us. So let me take you through the data, what we have with us. So let us first connect with that. Then we'll understand the objective. Then we'll work how to get it executed. So we have taken a payroll related data. You can see in front of your screen the same data. Okay. Like basic salary, it is there of 40,000. DA is the formula driven cell, 20% of the basic. You can see there is a formula. HRA is the 50% of the basic. Medical allowance is the 15,000 and uniform allowance it is 12,000. So monthly CTC is nothing but the combination or the summation of all these above values, and your annual CTC is nothing but monthly CTC multiplied by 12. So I believe everybody is clear because everyone is getting salary, so you can connect with your salary related information. That's why I have taken this data. Any doubt in understanding the data?
No.
Fine. Now let me put the data in a story format. Now suppose say our friend Param, he is leading a team and he needs one resource for his team because of the volume of transactions in the business. He needs a team. And what he did, he approached to our say recruitment division and he said all the JD over there and he told I need this is my candidate's profile. Okay, now our recruitment team, they have started taking the interview and filtered out one candidate and they found Neelam. So they just forwarded Neelam's resume to our friend Param. So Param has to take the final interview and he has to decide whether Neelam is suitable for that role or not. Now Param is taking the interview of Neelam and Param is satisfied the way Neelam has answered all the queries or questions. And when Param has gone through his resume, her resume, he found that Neelam is having good amount of experience in that particular role, and he sees having also good academical qualifications. So Param has decided internally, I found my candidate. He is final. Okay, he has decided, but that alone is not enough. So we need to talk about the compensation part, isn't it? So Param has given an offer to Neelam that Neelam, we are through with our interview. So this is what the final status for this role. We are offering 11,40,000 CTC. Looking at the same, Neelam is not happy. So Neelam shows this, some kind of expressions where Param could identify. So Param gave an offer that Neelam, if you have something you can express, we can come out with some kind of concluded statement where we can both work with win-win situation. So Neelam gave an offer. What's our demand? That Param, if you could give me 14 lakhs of CTC instead of 11 lakhs 40,000, I am ready to join immediately. Now Param has got problem. What is that? Param doesn't want to lose Neelam. But if he accepts Neelam's offer of 14 lakhs on demand, then what should be the breakup of the salary structure? This is the first thing he has to find out. This is the first problem. Now, that problem, let's keep it on hold. One thing internally, Param has got an authority from the management stating that, Param, if you find a suitable candidate, salary is not a bar. You can accept anybody's offer, but make sure that any point of time, the basics should not exceed 60,000. So this is the capping given by the management. So another problem. If Param accepts Neelam's demand, then basic, whether it is exceeding 60,000 or within 60,000, that also he has to ensure. Now, to decide that and arrive at a conclusion whether to retain Neelam or to let it go, the profile, he has to take some time. So how much time it will be taking, Param? So what's your opinion on this? How long it will be taking for you to take a decision?
Yeah, normally I would do all the permutation combination.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is what we do. So ideally what we do, I will tell you, you will also not disagree, everyone. We take 1 or For our safer side, we ask Neelam, Neelam, please be seated in our lobby or reception. Our team will be getting in touch with you and intimating the final statement or verdict, whatever it is. And why we take 1 hour time to do our trial and error. What we do that in that 1 hour, I will tell you. We'll come back to our workstation. This salary breakup, whatever it is there, we'll start trying doing the trial and error. Like going over here, basic, okay, so 14 lakhs, right? So we'll go and change to 45,000. Okay, like this, it goes to 12 lakhs 42,000. So we'll go and increase again 50,000 like this. So we'll keep on doing the same unless and until this becomes 14 lakhs, we keep on doing our own trial and error. So we may get the answer in 5 hits, 10 hits, or 15 hits, depends what kind of value or we are taking over here. Do you agree with me? This is what we do.
Yes.
So this is the place where, my friends, we are spending our quality time for doing the job, and the quality of work is also getting deteriorated. Now just imagine the same situation in front of Neelam if our friend Param would have taken the decision then and there immediately, just in 30 seconds. How the Neelam's impression would be about Param? Definitely she would be happy working with a leader who takes the immediate decision, because sometimes people like it. Okay, so entire situation would have been different. Lot of time could have been saved. Decision would have been taken then and there, and the best resource, best candidate also would have been retained with no time. So this is what the place, my friends. If our friend Param has to take the decision with no time, how he will be taking that? This is the objective. So in that case, we are going to use our decision purpose, the data analytical tool called GoalSeek. But for that, you have to satisfy 2 rules. Rule number 1, whichever the data you want to apply GoalSeek, it must be formula driven. So you see, there are many more formulas in our data, no problem. So rule number 1 is satisfied. Rule number 2, where is the GoalSeek? GoalSeek is in data, what if analysis. There is a group within that GoalSeek. Data, what if analysis, GoalSeek. When I go for it, it asks me set cell. So please be careful, watch my screen, no need to do anything right now. First observe 1 minute, then next 1 minute you can try. Set cell is the first criteria. So what is the meaning by set cell? Set cell is nothing but the objective cell. So in our entire story, if you have heard and we discussed, we have understood what is our objective in our entire story. Which cell is the objective cell? Absolutely right. So rule number 2 says that whichever the cell you consider as your objective cell or set cell, it must contain a formula. So annual CTC, is it containing a formula? Of course, yes. What is the formula? Monthly CTC multiplied by 12. So rule number 2 is also satisfied. Now coming to 2 value, how much we are expecting? How much is the demand from Neelam? How much is the
14
demand?
lakhs.
14 lakhs. So that we should define manually all the time. So 2 value, whatever it is, you have to always define manually. You cannot refer to a cell to make it dynamic. You cannot do that. Now coming to by changing cell, third criteria. So when we were doing the operation manually, which cell we were doing the trial and error?
Basic.
So we should go to the basic. That is our changing cell. Now the moment when we go and click OK, on your blink of your eyes, Excel will do its own iteration and calculations and immediately throw the result. See the beauty. And now once it is done, the capping given by the management, basic should not exceed 60,000. Is it exceeding? No. So without making any delay, Param should immediately inform to Neelam, Neelam, we are through. You are there in our welcome to the board, and our HR people will be intimating for the rest of formalities. So thank you so much for your time. Done. So entire process is over. So this is how people, whenever there is a need to come to a conclusion or arrive at decision over there, you can make use of this formula provided 2 rules are satisfied. So please confirm, is it working for you? So there are many more cases. You can use this whenever you are doing your costing calculations, like to arrive at your break-even point, to do the profitability analysis, or if you're into the research and development side, when the multiple compositions or excipients you want to combine. Or the best example, if you're unable to connect with anything, you must be paying your housing loan or home loan. Whatever the EMI you are paying, are you end up paying something extra amount to the bankers? If you want to calculate, there also you can make use of this goal-seek tool uses. Yes, Rita, I'm doing it for one more time since you have asked us. Okay, see, earlier the task was like this. Hope the entire story, what is the objective, is clear. There you have to go for application of data, what if analysis, and goal seek. And when you go for this goal seek, rule number one, data must be formula driven, that is there. Set cell must be the objective cell which contains a formula. So in our case, objective is annual CTC. Is it containing a formula? Yes, monthly CTC multiplied by 12. So rule number two is satisfied. Now, how much value you are expecting? The next criteria, two value, is the 14 lakhs. So we must define that manually all the time, because we cannot define to a cell to make it dynamic. Now coming to by changing cell, the third criteria, which cell you change so that you can get an output of 14 lakhs in the CTC, is the basic one, because rest of things are formula driven. I cannot go and change medical allowance, it is fixed. Uniform allowance is fixed. DA is formula driven. HRA is formula driven. So which one is there? Basic. So I should take basic and click OK. With immediate effect, this will be showing the result. All right, people. So this is it for our day one. Any doubt, any queries for the day one, any formula, functions, whatever we discussed today? If you have something, just quickly look at that.
Prabhat, basically, this set of data which is there right now in this goal seek. So this is capturing specifically from basic to annual.
Right.
So if there is a extended data, is there any, like it automatically captures this way, or only, as I could understand, only the area where formulations are there, it is capturing. The rest all it is not capturing. Correct.
See, to make your understanding more clear, first of all, your data should be formula linked. One cell to other cell, there should be a relationship. So that's called your formula driven cell. So it's not mandatory, or that basic should contain a formula, or total cell should be contained formula. So the mandatory things, whichever you consider as a objective cell, it must contain a formula. And the other way, if you discuss the changing cell, whichever you consider, that should not contain a formula. The other way, if you want to discuss, if basic is containing a formula, then it will not work. Basic should be a static cell. It should not contain a formula.
Because it cannot change, because if formula is there, it will become more error based.
Yeah, iterations will not be happening. Iterations will not be happening. Excel will unable to compute the result. It will throw an error.
Okay, I got my answer.
Yeah, yeah. So kindly save all your workbooks, people, and close it. If at all any doubts is there or queries is there, please ask me. I'm there holding for another 2 minutes.